So there's something I haven't talked about in a long time, and that would be anime. And surprise, surprise, here's a controversial opinion to some people. I actually like Rising of the Shield Hero. I mean, I got introduced to the IP well over a year ago when I was trapped in a bus traveling across the United States and reading the manga adaptation online. I don't know why people just now are complaining about it, and it being an anime and being brought to the public attention, where you get the normies watching and going re at anything that challenges or goes against their beliefs. Oh, you know it's true. But one thing I love to see is when creators just do not care about controversies that spread concerning their work. I mean, so long as it's nothing, extremely serious. Hi, I'm Mangakamen. I'm that one YouTuber who likes to push buttons and see what happens.
Let's see, what does this button do?
One thing I do enjoy is when I see creators actually stand up for their own works and not actually care when there are controversies that shouldn't really be controversies in the first place. In all honesty, this actually concerns the Rising with the Shield Hero. You see, a couple days ago, one of the Kadoka business producers, Junicho Tamura, and I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, was answering questions in a Reddit AMA, and one such question was phrased like this. How do you deal with controversy that certain series end up generating? Does it discourage staff, impact decisions, or does it end up being used for a lot of marketing expanding the viewer range of the series? Question: Shield Hero has quite a few controversial views. How is this production dealing with the resulting response? To which Tamura promptly responded with, there have not been any controversies regarding this series in Japan, so it is difficult to say. In the case there were any controversy domestically, we would try to address the issues with the staff and people involved to bring our customers a better product the next time. Essentially,
they just didn't care!
Which, he has a point. There was no domestic controversy in Japan about this show. At least none that I can recall, or read about, and if I'm wrong, feel free to point it out to me. Now, if you're not familiar with it, Rising the Shield Hero, the controversy surrounding the show involves two things, and both revolve around the first episode, and how the main character, Naofumi, gets falsely accused of sexual assault in the first episode. And later in the episode, he purchases a furry slave girl to use as his sword. Wait. Let me try that again. He purchases a furry slave girl to fight for him. Much better. This became a controversy because the outcry from some places like Anime News Network, which had a lot of reviewers bearing their fangs at it.
Don't make me come down there, you punk!
And you got things like this gem. The first and most important thing worth mentioning is that false rape accusations of this nature aren't really a thing. Doing a couple Google searches can show that there were false rape allegations where women didn't face social consequences. I don't want to go into full detail about them, but I'll put a couple links in the description if you want to check them out. My point is that people made this entire episode out to be something that it wasn't. And it's like, it's fiction. Why can't we enjoy a fictional story about this sort of thing? Don't get me wrong, sexual assault is clearly an issue and it should be handled justly and swiftly, but don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. In any case, back to the real topic, another Reddit user asked, I want to know how influenced anime studios producers are by Western views and thoughts. Do you think studios will continue to produce quality anime products, even if it might be viewed as different or controversial in the West? This is what I love about Japanese anime, and I'm afraid it might change. And the response was this. We in Japan do not see these anime as controversial, so we will continue to produce more content like Shield Hero. Thank you for your support. Buying merchandise helps us as well as preventing any of your friends from pirating the content. We would like to animate all of Shield Hero, but it depends on the support we get from our fans. There are many reasons why a producer will make a remake or make new seasons of an old show, but I have not personally had the chance, so I cannot give you a good answer. Essentially, this tells me, get bent, outrage culture, and this is something that I do support in a way. Creators shouldn't be pressured to change a work that they enjoy just because some people don't like it or have issue with it.
Make a comment, maybe it's like a criticism or something, and you go, okay, yeah, that's a fair critique. but you don't want to listen to them because of the way. The reason I hate you is because you talk like you do, and other stupid people listen to you.
Well, most of the time I'm on the side of the creators. Most of the time. No creator should do that. That isn't to say you can't criticize a show, but if it's just about an aspect of a show that you personally don't care for, it's not really something they really need to tank, because personal preferences don't equate to objective critique. I mean, let's face it, we live in a culture where people will be outraged over any little thing, even jokes. And this isn't like we haven't seen this before with more controversial topics. Take a few months back with the whole lambasting Goblin Slayer's first episode for having less than savory imagery in the first episode. You got people like Mother's Basement saying this.
For the rest of you out there, the hardcore Goblin Slayer fans who just want to see the community around the series grow, want it to be recognized for its better qualities, and want it to make a lot of money so that more of the series gets adapted and more shows like it get made, please, don't let defending this one scene be the hill that you die on. Instead of acting like nothing's wrong with it or like people are wrong to be upset about it, acknowledge that it's a bad first episode, or at least a potentially offensive one, and try to draw people's attention to the parts of it.
How's that opinion treating you, Jeff? I've seen plenty of people trying to complain about games, movies, comics, all trying to tell me that this is bad, or this is problematic, or this is something that clearly a terrible first episode, and they'll go on to judge an entire series on it. And it just feels like really unfair.
You don't know yet!
And it can be for some of the dumbest reasons. At times you'll have creators be attacked to have like things blown way out of proportion that they shouldn't have been. Creators should be allowed to create what they want to create, and they shouldn't be pressured by people or groups of people to change their works just to fit a small niche community. Can they be influenced by people who do this? Yes, they can. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be if they want to be. Heck, we've got people like Reiki Kawahara, the creator of Sword Art Online, deciding to make his content more politically correct. More towards Western views, and not his domestic views. So... But it's SAO, who bloody cares at this point about that trashy IP? Again, if a creator wants to do that, then that's perfectly fine. It's their choice, and I won't lie, it will raise a few eyebrows from some people, questioning whether or not if they're doing it of their own accord. But a creator should have the ability to choose if they want to change their work, but they also have the ability to not change their work if they want to. Creators shouldn't be pressured, and considering that there's no guarantee that the people complaining about the product in the first place would be interested in continuing to support the show, why should creators change their vision to appease them? I suppose you could say that, oh, the critics will lambast the show for this. Yeah, critics. I say as I'm working on a big video talking about critics and why they have flaws. But as for me, as someone who likes to create, as someone who's making his own work, people can complain about the works that are being made. That's perfectly fine. However, people should not be feeling pressured to change their work, especially if it's from people who aren't even local, who do not hold the same morality as we do. They live in Japan. They shouldn't be forced to be making anime by American standards. After all, they're exporting a good. They're exporting a product. They're exporting entertainment. Keyword being entertainment. So, once again, I do need to applaud this anime. Not only is it actually very entertaining, but seeing so many people get riled up over it has also been very entertaining and fun to watch. But, what do you guys think? Do you think creators should actually be taking advice from people about this sort of thing? Should they listen to all critique? Should they change their works based on what people want them to do because they don't like a certain scene or how something is depicted? I personally don't think that's fair at all. A creator can change his mind on a work, but they shouldn't be feeling pressured to. Again, I ask you guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Mangakamen, thanks for watching, and remember to examine your fandom.